everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 15th of March going through until Sunday the 21st of March 2021. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today as always. I've had a look at what the planets are doing this week. They're going to bring up certain energy, and I'm going to have a look at how you can use that to your advantage and work with it effectively. The thing I noticed about Monday and Tuesday in particular is that there's going to be a lot of eye rolling going on. If someone talks down to you, if someone kind of lectures you and you feel like they're going on and it's just not relevant, it's not going to go down very well. So just be aware of that kind of energy creeping in. Monday, Tuesday, let's have a look at what's actually going on. On Monday the 15th, we've got the moon in Aries. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a fire sign, and it's really about setting goals and getting there. So it's about facing the consequences of your decisions, what it is you want in life, accepting those consequences and doing something about them. So it's really constructive. It's about moving ahead. So the focus is firmly on the future, where you're going in life. It sextiles Jupiter in Aquarius, which is the lucky planet that makes everything bigger. So you have a really great sense of self on Monday. It's in Aquarius, so the human family, the greater good. So you can see the discrepancy between this strong sense of self and an appreciation for the majority and the world at large. It also squares Pluto in Capricorn, and the image I'm getting mentally is just someone standing on shaky ground. And that may make you feel somewhat ill at ease because things don't feel permanent and secure. You may sense that things are changing, and it may be difficult to decipher whether to focus on yourself or on other people. And that can kind of create a sense of, oh, this balance is perilous here. Mercury enters Pisces on Monday the 15th. Mercury is the communication planet. It rules Gemini and Virgo. When it's in Pisces, it's not interested in the details. It's much more interested in the emotional side of things and in the universal truth, in the bigger picture. So it can sometimes translate as you daydreaming or really feeling things quite strongly. Altogether, we've got things in different elements. So we've got the moon in fire, Jupiter in air, those two elements in masculine. Then we've got Pluto in Capricorn, earth, and Mercury in Pisces, water, those are feminine. So we've got perfect balance, and the balance of the day is the main thing that is drawing my attention, the fact that you really have to be aware of that balance. So as a result of all of that, on Monday, there may be some frustration, especially if you feel like you've put yourself out, or you've put yourself in a situation where someone's wasted your time by either sharing something with you or getting you to do something that has no purpose. That's really going to frustrate you. So your patience may run a little bit short. Be aware of that. And what I'm getting is that if you confront the situation, it's going to cause more problem than if you just let it slide by. At the same time, you're focused on making changes and really getting things done. And I think that is partially why it's so irritating to you if someone does waste your time, because you're really able to do things and you feel that on some level and you want to get as much done as possible. You know, if someone wastes your time and you then get really angry about it and you have an argument for 2 hours, then that's not productive either. So just kind of try and manage things that way and see what is going to take up most of my time here and how can I be most effective. So your own emotions may feel like they're pestering you and they're getting in the way of what's important. So it's really, really essential that you're patient with yourself and with others. You know, the clock isn't ticking every second of the day. And on Monday, it may feel like that. You may feel under this weird kind of pressure, like you need to run before the earth kind of shakes underneath you. So it's not the easiest day. It's certainly going to keep you on your toes. And in my experience, when we do have days where we feel uncertain about everything, we can really have some great insights and understand certain things. Certain people function very well under pressure. So if you're one of those people, look out for Monday. Tuesday, the 16th of March, we've got the moon moving into Taurus, so things slow down a little bit. The moon in Taurus is concerned with security and having your feet firmly planted on the ground, which is rock solid. So with Pluto in Capricorn and Mercury in Pisces, that friction isn't going anywhere. It's still floating around, so it's not like suddenly Tuesday comes along and you feel totally at ease. There's still a bit of tension. The Taurus moon then conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of the unexpected and the miraculous and the unforeseen. In Taurus, it's also in Earth, so something could really change in your practical life, and that's going to have cause you to have an emotional reaction. The moon also sextiles Mercury in Pisces. So that's great, because not only are you going to have some sort of reaction to something happening, you can also see the potential in that situation. So it's not like you're a victim of your circumstances saying, oh, this happened and now I have to respond in this manner. It's really, okay, this is coming up. What are my options within all of this? How can I make it work for me? And how can I engage with this? So it's really a change that comes up that pulls you in a good way, and that you can actually do something with. The sun's in Pisces, so you are very intuitive, and if you listen to your feelings and if you listen to your gut, you're very unlikely to go wrong at the beginning of the week here. The sun in Pisces sextiles Pluto and Capricorn, so listening to your emotions can have really long-term, serious, permanent, practical effects on your life, and that's in a good way, because the universe isn't going to tell you to do things which are going to create hardship and difficulty. So the day does feel a lot less raw than Monday did, and it feels like there's a kind of structure to the way you feel. Like you have an emotional cushion. There's like an ending to your feelings. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel, whereas on Monday, you're really on the train, just going, and you're hooked and you're just going through the emotions. On Tuesday, you're not as connected and not as reactive. So you may feel a little bit left out, or you may become aware of an area in your life where you're not so skilled when you compare yourself to other people, or that may be the news, the events, that you're in a group setting and people are doing something and you realize, oh wow, everyone can do this and I can't, or everyone is this and I'm not. It just may make you feel like, oh, there's really a difference between this self and everyone else. And that can often be taken badly. People don't like that because you do feel isolated, and then you tend to compare yourself. It's like, okay, I don't have this skill, so I can't be as good as those people. And you just twist it, and something that's practical and has nothing to do with your character or you as a person can start to feel that way. And it's like, oh wow, you see, I'm lacking in some sort of way. So it's really important not to compare yourself to other people on Tuesday. And a better way forward is to articulate yourself in a creative way and to record your thoughts and feelings in a way that is all about you. So like a tape recorder or writing something down, you know, putting it in a format that is not alive, so it doesn't talk back to you and it doesn't interrupt you and it doesn't challenge you. You just give yourself a space to create and to get stuff out. So if you have the opportunity to do that on Tuesday, please do, because those records of your thoughts and feelings will come in handy later on. And if you look back on them and review them, you'll really be able to chart your progress. On Wednesday, the 17th of March, we have got the moon still in Taurus, and it squares Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn is the rules, it represents the status quo, and that kind of appears on your grid today. The Taurus moon says, I'm in control of my life. I do as I please. And Saturn in Aquarius squaring the moon causes that friction again. It's like, okay, it's me versus everyone else. And why does everyone else think they know what's best for me? That's really what I mean by the eye roll of the first few days, because it's just like, why do I have to listen to all of this? Why do they think they are an expert on my life? Just because I'm sitting here and listening to it, don't they sense that I don't agree or whatever it is? So that's a very interesting space to be in. You're going to feel it you're going to have very little patience for anything that you see as wasting your time. So if someone in your work starts to lecture you on something that you've been doing for years, it's important to maintain your composure. And I really think that trying to say things in a clear and concise way is important on Wednesday, because if you leave it and you try and sweep it under the rug again, I think by Wednesday the pressure is built to the extent where you're just going to blow up. and you're going to go after the person who's talking down to you, and they then will be very startled because it's like, where did that come from? And that in itself then is annoying. It's like, you have just talked at me for 2 hours and you're now surprised that I'm having a reaction. Like, what planet do you live on? And that's the irritability of this situation, that you feel like people are occupying different planets, and it's like, hello, can you hear me? So that's never fun. The Taurus moon also squares Jupiter in Aquarius, and it sextiles Neptune in Pisces. So the way you think and feel, that's really highlighted, and that's something very personal that allows you to make great, lucky, positive decisions about your own life. And it seems that the interference is people talking in your ear endlessly or just trying to distract you from what you're doing. So if you can maintain focus, then you're really going to appreciate yourself for doing that, because you can get a lot done, and it's really, you're the authority on your circumstances, and that's right. Mars is in Gemini, and that's really the intolerance of hot air being blown into your ear endlessly. That makes absolutely no difference. It's just like, enough. I have got a PhD in this subject myself. Thank you very much. You don't need to tell me. Mars in Gemini sextiles Chiron in Aries, so the argument could become heated. And that's the risk all week. So in my experience, counting to 10 before you respond doesn't work. So it's like, okay, someone just said something really nasty or offensive. Before blowing up, let me count to 10. 1, 2, 3. For some people that may work, but for me, by the time I get to 10, my head is purple with rage. So before you get angry, I would suggest just trying to speak very clearly and just being very direct and saying, thank you very much for the insight. I actually have studied this myself, so thank you. Let's talk about this as colleagues, but please do realize that I am aware of the content of this. Okay? Thank you very much. And try and resolve it that way before things get heated and before you blow your top. Okay, so on Wednesday, the eye rolling is still there. It's really, it comes to a head on Wednesday. If someone does try and control you today or prescribe certain rules and regulations, you're likely to blow. So do yourself a favor and don't go to, don't go to the prison where you have to visit, or don't put yourself in the most restrictive situation that you possibly can. If you can schedule it, then doing it later in the week is a much better idea. Also, if someone in your family just always tells you what to do, then not seeing them that day may be a good idea as well. So it is good timing if you find it hard to assert yourself, and if you do need to really let someone know what they're doing and what they're saying. So if you're in a situation in a relationship where the other person doesn't seem to realize what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable, you can tell them that. Again, same thing. Do it clearly and unemotionally before you get angry. And it's a similar vibe if you're applying to jobs or courses. If you get rejected, you may take it personally and then you may lash out as a result. So creating your own content, keeping a record, that's a much better area of focus, and it's going to teach you much more about yourself than reacting to other people who really don't mean anything personal by a rejection or something like that. It's just a box-ticking exercise for them, but you take it personally, or there's the potential to take it personally, and that's a waste of your energy. Like if someone rejects you from a course because they're full, then it's as simple as that. And if you look at the rejection and you're like, you see, the 7 years of hard work, I thought I had talent, and now I've got this rejection and it's proof that I have absolutely zero talent, then you're just torturing yourself over something that was a logistical issue. It has nothing to do with your talent. I hope I've explained that clearly, because we do torture ourselves like that over things we don't even know whether they're real or not. And that's the real source of emotional pain that causes people to act out, because they can't sit with themselves, because they're constantly at themselves. On Thursday the 18th, we've got the moon in Taurus. Wow. We've got the moon in Taurus from Tuesday all the way through to Thursday. So 3 days of Taurus. Taurus really likes to make a nest. It likes to be comfortable in life. It likes to know where it's at. So just be aware that the people who take away from your feelings of security, who bring you anxiety, are going to be seen as other and as a threat. Don't attack everybody. So the Taurus moon squares Jupiter in Aquarius on Thursday. So still the friction between yourself and others, although with it being Jupiter on Thursday instead of Saturn, there's a greater sense of optimism and freedom. It's like, okay, other people may think that, but I don't have to, take everything on board. It trines Pluto in Capricorn, and that now is about change rather than insecurity. It sextiles Neptune, Venus, and the Sun in Pisces. Wow, so we've got a Midsummer Night's Dream here. Venus is Puck, Neptune is, I don't know, Aphrodite. Sorry, I'm mixing mythologies here. And the Sun in Pisces is like the dream goddess, or the goddess of magic and spirituality. Venus is the personal planet of love and beauty. Neptune is the outer planet of love and beauty and the human family. And the Sun in Pisces is my identity, is about the unmanifest, the spiritual, the intangible threads that bind us all together. We're all connected, and I feel that in some way. So that's a lot. That's a lot coming at the moon in Taurus, so a lot of feelings to try and manage and control. Venus is in Pisces, so Venus in Pisces as well, so loving, so kind, so permissive. It sextiles Pluto and Capricorn. That actually, I think, bodes. It could potentially allow you to make a mistake and to overlook a red flag that you would otherwise see. So don't be too easy to devote yourself entirely to something that you absolutely love and adore, that you've only become aware of 10 minutes ago and you've done no research on. Okay, just be a little bit wary about that, because it's a lot of love and a lot of, I want to connect and I just want to be part of. If you want something desperately from another person, like if you're single and you really just want to be with someone, then if that's your ultimate goal, you're going to make allowances that you wouldn't in other relationships, because you really want something out of it. So it's the same thing here on Thursday, because there's so much love and that's so strong in your consciousness and your mind. Some people will say, oh, okay, there's someone desperately looking for something, I'll give them that, and then take a lot. So it's important to just try and be grounded. The good thing is that on Thursday, your options really open up and you feel far less frustrated in your efforts, and that disconnect between you and other people is kind of gone. It's melted away now, so you feel like part of the pack, part of the gang again. So it's easier to network, to work well with others. In fact, it's great to work well with others on Thursday. And your relationships in general are going to even out. So to confront something rather than have an argument, leave it to Thursday if you possibly can. If you haven't connected with too many people during the week so far, Thursday is a really good day to do it, because friendships and relationships and things with colleagues, they're all just effortless, and you don't have that personal sense of being affronted and it's like, oh, I'm different and what's going on here? And it puts everyone else at ease immediately. On Friday, the moon moves into Gemini. That's Friday the 19th of March. So the moon in Gemini is really about looking ahead. It's different to Aries in the sense that Aries says, okay, let's set some goals and let's go do that. Gemini is about, what are the options here? And what do I want to share about this space that I'm in? And it's about the future, but it's really about making sense of where you are, really thinking about things, being critical, and trying to pursue something that really suits you. So it's the search before the decision, which is really interesting. So with the moon in Gemini, you're open-minded, you're interested in everything, you're likely to become a lot more chatty, and you're willing to have a good time and to connect with other people. So you can see that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, relationships are down here, and then as Thursday, Friday come along, the relationship potential really just skyrockets and goes up. So Friday is great for relationships. The Gemini moon squares Mercury in Pisces, so oh wow, so it's like the tongue of a poet has landed in your mouth, and you're able to share your feelings in a way that's crystal clear and beautiful and easy to understand. So if you are with someone and you feel like there's a disconnect because they don't get you in a certain way, you'll really be able to share that part of yourself on Friday. It conjuncts Mars in Gemini, so you'll even get a kick out of sharing your story, or putting yourself in the limelight, or sharing your options and brainstorming with other people. You may even get a kick out of emotional exhibitionism, or being seen as someone special and important, or getting a round of applause. It's important that you feel seen and heard on Friday. The Gemini moon also trines Saturn in Aquarius, and it sextiles Chiron in Aries. So again, don't overshare. It's interesting, like all this whole week, there are warnings almost in everything. So you're much more at ease now, so you want to share and you want to, get some attention. But if you share your deepest, darkest secrets, someone again may pick up on that, and they may not have your best interests in heart and say, oh, they just shared this secret. I might just tuck that away for later use, if you know what I mean, to use it against you. So on Friday, the mood continues to lift, and you feel the return of your sense of control over your life and your circumstances. It's not you against the world. You feel more connected to other people and therefore much more at ease with other people and around other people. So you can relax and you're able to feel understood. There is a warning. Don't go to the other extreme and share your whole life story with a stranger, because it could go wrong and you could be taken advantage of by someone who isn't interested in you having a wonderful time, but more interested in themselves getting ahead. So it's interesting that you feel more connected and at one with other people, and now the risk is that you get someone wrong and they take advantage of you. So isn't that odd? The first few days of the week you're like, oh, stop talking to me please, I've heard it, and you really do feel disconnected and no one's coming after you. They may even genuinely try and want to say something that's useful and helpful to you, and then later on in the week you're like, oh, everyone loves me and I love them, and then someone tries to pull the wool over your eyes. So just be aware that it's a bit tricky, I think. So the Gemini moon squares Mercury in Pisces on Friday. That's really nice. That's my intuition, my feelings. I deserve to be happy. Let's have a good time. It also conjuncts Mars in... Oh no, I've done Friday, haven't I? Oh dear. Yeah, we're on Saturday the 20th. The Sun moves into Aries on Saturday the 20th. The Sun is the center of our solar system. It's really your identity, your conscious mind. And in Aries, it's similar to the moon going into Aries at the beginning of the week, because it really galvanizes you into action and it gives you a sense of, hey, this is my life. It's not ended yet, so I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to live it. It's really a fresh start. It's, spring has arrived. The flowers are coming out. There's fire in the world. There's excitement. There are things to do. So that really lifts your spirits. We also have the moon in Gemini, which is similarly optimistic and positive. Earlier I compared Gemini and Aries. And the Gemini moon squares Neptune in Pisces, so a world of imagination is accessible to you, which is interesting because the Sun in Aries, I want to get things done, I want to move ahead. And Mercury in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, and this moon in Gemini, they really allow you to give voice to your ideas and your dreams. So listen to your intuition, include it on this journey forward. You won't go wrong and you'll be able to realize some of your hopes and dreams. The Gemini moon also trines Jupiter in Aquarius, so other people will be lucky. And it quincunxes Pluto in Capricorn. And again, it's not about insecurity, it's about having the power in the sense that I can change my circumstances if I dream and if I act. So it's springtime on Saturday and you feel super grounded, you feel really in control and like your life is yours to live and to do with as you will. You may want to make certain plans for the future and even sign up to events that you want to attend later on in the year. Planning your schedule or your calendar on Saturday the 20th will reveal an unexpected surprise. So something that has either slipped your mind or something you weren't aware of appears through your search or through your scheduling, and you'll really be pleased with that. Finally, on Sunday the 21st of March, we've got the moon going into Cancer. The moon rules Cancer. It's about nurturing, it's about the family, it's about the home. The moon in Cancer is very comfortable because it rules that sign. So it's very much about the intuition and allowing yourself to love. Personally, the moon in Cancer always causes me to feel really weepy and like overly emotional and sorry for myself. So maybe that's just me, but that's what the moon in Cancer sometimes does. So if you get overly emotional, just be aware of that. Venus enters Aries, so that mitigates the moon in Cancer, because Venus in Aries is like, where's my love? It's like, I can get it. It's hunter-gatherer season, okay, as far as Venus is concerned. Spring is sprung, so it's Easter, the bunnies are out in... It's that season. Time to fall in love. The Cancer moon squares the sun in Aries, Chiron in Aries, and it sextiles Uranus in Taurus and trines Mercury in Pisces by a lot. Okay, so the Cancer moon, the sensitive part of you, is at odds with the sun in Aries. I want to do, I want to achieve, I don't want to just stay home and feel. Chiron in Aries, if I don't get my way, I'll get angry. Sextiles Uranus in Taurus. If I don't do something, I could miss out on some great opportunities. So major FOMO, fear of missing out. And Mercury in Pisces, I am entitled to live my dreams. God bless it. Yikes. Okay. So on Sunday, you're an annoying little brat, a teenager of a person who just wants it their way all the time. Being a bit harsh. No, but emotionally, you're going to find it difficult to manage yourself because there's a lot going on. People say no to you. If you don't get what you want, it's going to be like, oh, now I have the work of dealing with this anger and rage. So there's a lot going on for yourself this week. And, you know, earlier I was talking about the constant eye rolling. Ultimately, the thing that underlines all of this is that you're basically rolling your eyes at yourself. And you're not pleased with where you're at and where you're going. So if you find a way to be content with where you are and to be in the moment and to be happy, you can save yourself a lot of pain here this week. Finally, Mars in Gemini trines Saturn in Aquarius. We the people have power. So that dilutes everything because it's like, am I on my own personal like dream mission or am I an activist for some sort of organization? And that's a thing that keeps coming up this week. Is like, should I or shouldn't I? And people who like to act and people who are decisive don't like to be in that space. It's like, let's just get on with it. Come on, make a decision. So on Sunday, it's really important to take good care of yourself today and to be patient with yourself and to have reasonable expectations of what you can do. Watch out for rejection or being challenged. You won't like it and you may want to react. Ultimately, the reaction is going to be the real problem, as it could put pressure on your relationships, okay? So you're going to a restaurant and you really want chocolate mousse, and they don't have chocolate mousse, and you're there with 8 friends of yours, and you've been looking forward to this chocolate mousse for days, and the waiter says we don't have it, and you blow your mind. You go ape. You flip the table. Those friends are going to be like, wow, can't take him anywhere. So what I'm trying to say is that the fact that you didn't get your dessert is not the problem. The problem is that you flip the table and that you alienate all your friends and that they look at you and say, oh my God, rage issues, we can't take him anywhere. And that then you isolate yourself and you paint yourself in a corner by yourself. So yes, the problem is your emotional reaction, not what the waiter can and can't bring you. So try and structure your day and not other people, and try not to blame other people for preventing you from getting what it is you want. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I know that I'm in trouble personally, like that I'm not doing everything I should to stay spiritually well and emotionally well. When I lose my sense of humor, that's always a big warning sign. And also when people start to irritate me, like unreasonably, you know, if yeah, like my granddad, he was someone who spoke very slowly. He was like, he would pause between every word. And I used to go visit him, and some days I could tolerate it. I don't like the slow talking endlessly, because it's just like, oh, come on, what's the point? Where's the story? So I didn't like that. And sometimes I could tolerate it, and I was much younger. I was like, you know, this was a long time ago. Yeah, sometimes I could listen to it, but if I wasn't in a good space, I'd sit there and I'd be like tapping, and my feet would be going. It's like, let's get out of here. And I would always know that, okay, you're obviously not in the best space because you're so irritated and impatient. So that's really the whole week, that you can really see where you're at in terms of your reactions, and try and be kind to yourself, and, you know, pet yourself and say, there, you didn't react perfectly, but it's okay, don't worry. Don't blame yourself, and just try and do the best you can. And you'll grow from it. This is all about growth. Okay. So have a lovely week. If you would like a personal reading with me about your life purpose or your work or your relationships, your health, your living situation, your financial situation, your spiritual progress, your friendships, anything at all. If you've got big decisions coming up and you want me to have a look at your charts and your transits, your progress chart, your astrocartography, all of those tools allow me to see what's coming up in future, what areas of the planet will work for you really well, which others won't work for you so well. So if you have any questions, then please do get in touch with me via my website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you next week.